Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up our roof mount kit. I'm going to use in mine, you got your 3 pieces here, and I'm going to use 10-foot pieces on each end, and then I'm going to use 10-foot on each side of that end, and then the centerpiece I'm going to use 5-foot. I think overall, if you just wanted to use 5-foot pieces, you could. So in that case, you would just need 1, 2, 3 10-footers, cut them in half. Otherwise, if you do it the way I am, it's going to take 10 or 9.5 pieces because you're going to have 5-foot uprights. Yeah, so for doing the 3 5s, I forgot you're going to need 3 for that, and then the 3 uprights, so you're going to need 4.5. So you have to get 5 pieces. They're found in electrical at Home Depot or Lowe's or your local hardware if they carry electrical. Home Depot, my Home Depot or Lowe's are about $10. They're non-threaded. They're, like I say, they're in electrical. You don't want to get the heavy metal pipe unless you want that. It's a little more expensive, but that'll give you a lot more bottom heavy, a lot more weight. So we're going to get started. You're going to need a 9/16 wrench, probably 2, and I'm going to use a drill also, and then you're going to need a 1/4-inch wrench. And I'm going to start on this end here first, and what I'm going to do is adjust this for the pitch. Okay, you don't really want to use the drill on this. Because it'll jerk. You can use the drill once you get your 10-foot pieces on if you need to adjust. Okay, so I want to have this piece going straight up vertical. Then I want to have this flush as I can. Okay, just keep your eye pushed down on this side, my right side. And then make sure that's pushed down. And get them pretty snug. Okay. This makes a 10-foot section, so what I'm going to do first is start with a 5-foot piece. And it's going to go in here. Set it up. This one's already set up, so all I have to do is slide that in. Okay, some of these on mine, this is like at a slight angle, so I might have to loosen this up to get the pipe in. So you'll have to make minor adjustments. Okay. See, on my roof it's very steep. The back end's not as steep as the front end. Make sure all your stuff is backed out. Save you a little time. pipe here is a little bit bent on the end. I'm going to flip it around and try the other end. Okay, I got a cure for that. Just make sure when you buy your pipe you don't find it bent up. This is probably bent because I've used it so much. There we go. This one here needs to be loosened up. Okay. That's that part. Now the hard part's done. Next part is putting your uprights. You got 2 bolts here, but I'm just tightening down one for the demo. Just make sure the pipe doesn't touch your roof. That way it doesn't rub if the wind's moving it a little bit. Okay, now here comes for your 1/4 inch pieces. Okay, this is what's going to hold your pipe up. So you can put it on whatever side you want. I'll do mine on the back side. And I'm not going to put it on there that tight because I may need to adjust it. Okay, these pieces here, they're actually It was a newer version from the first one. So in this case, I have two 5-foot pieces, but you could go ahead and run a total 10-foot piece through here. But this, you can also use shorter pieces. Okay. All right, that's it for the assembly. It's just a little bit time consuming. See, this one's a little out of adjustment. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some old square rope light wire frames that I have and a square aluminum frame. So I use the Hang-'em zip ties, and these are releasable zip ties, and I've been using these since even before I started selling them. They're really good to use, and you can use them every year. Once you tighten them up, you just push this little lever here, pull it back loose. Sometimes they'll get hard to do, and that's usually if they're in a bind. Like this one from hanging, if you pulled up that gap, it'll release easier. And make sure you have it up here where you can release it. See, I got that one released. Don't matter if these things stick up, nobody's gonna see them. Okay. I'll stick my other wire frame on. Okay. Make sure you have your what's supposed to be facing front. Make sure it's correctly. You don't want backwards letters if you're spelling something. Oops. Come out of socket here. Must not have tightened that in. Nope, I didn't. Okay, now you see there's a gap here. So what I'm going to do is let these slowly drop. I think that'll be good enough. Okay. And the last thing you want to do is go ahead and zip tie these down. Alright, these are 12-inch ties. These are a little bit long. Probably what you want to use is the 8-inch ties. This is covering like 1-inch square tubing, 1.25-inch pipe. Okay, that's pretty much it. So like I said, if you want to change these links, 5-foot links will probably be fine. But what happens is the wind is going to hit this. And on like this here, the wind's going to blow through freely, but the wind can still push it. As we know, the wind can do whatever it wants. Some years, or years ago, we had high winds. Really high winds, just high gusts nationwide, and had a customer up in Indiana, had a 2.5-inch pipe in solid concrete, 25-foot high mega tree, and it bent it like 4 feet from the ground. So the question is to guide wire or not to guide wire? Me personally, I think I'm going to leave this alone because I need to test it. But you see the back of my house, nothing but woods. So I'm pretty much protected from wind. I'm kind of up on a hill, and we get a lot of wind at the top of the trees, but not much. You know, I've never had any problems. But if you want to guide wire it, what I would do is just run a piece of guide wire over down to the front of your house if you're able to, and then down to the back on the ground. You know, you can use rope if you want to, you know, or aircraft cable, but rope would probably be better for it if you had gutters on it. The only time you're going to get gutter damage is if the wind is blowing this and it's pulling that rope or whatever you use onto your gutter. The other option is drilling into your gutter the backboard and putting an eye bolt in there, screwing a threaded eye bolt. But that's going to depend on how good your wood is, because over the years that wood kind of gets rotten. So you'll have to make that judgment call. But that's just going to keep the wind from, you know, lifting it up. But the other option, what other people have done that built their own stuff out of wood, was sandbags. So, you know, you just have to make your own judgment. If you're going to have thicker, like say you're using Coroplast, and you know, that's going to catch a lot of wind. So I definitely would guide wire that, because you wouldn't like it to come out one morning and this is in your neighbor's yard or your backyard. But that's pretty much it. And one other thing you could do is what I'm going to do in the future here is we're starting to carry hologram screen. It's stuff that we have made, and I'm going to have some, well, we got 8 foot wide, they're 5 foot by 8, and then I've got some 20 foot. So on this side of my house, I don't know if I'm going to do it this Christmas, but I'll probably set up and do a demo where I can have a video projector back here projecting onto the transparent screen. And you know, even for Halloween too, if you want to put ghosts at the top of your house. Like I'm going to have content probably available to do in video. Like I'm going to have 4 dancing Santas up here. It's just different stuff you could do. And when we run the net across, we're going to probably put fishing string, because I'm going to try to have this, I don't know if I'm going to do 20 foot, but I'm going to see what I could do. But if I could keep the middle support out, I'm going to do that. But it is screen. I mean, it's thin enough that you can see through, but and it's enough to catch the video. But the problem is it's still enough for the wind to push on. So that's why we're going to use the fishing string, is just to kind of keep it, blowing it back like parachute or parasail. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's really simple to do. I've always wanted to do something like this, but I never did want to do the configuration I've seen a lot of people do, come up and build a wood form. But so we're happy we came up with this. Think it'll become useful to a lot of people. And if you have any questions or comments or improvements, just go to the product page. That's the best way to ask any question about a product, is go to that page, click on ask a question. That'll pop up a window, and when you type whatever you type in there, it comes from that product, and we know exactly what you're asking a question about. So just feel free to do that, and or just go to our support page. And thanks for watching, and have a great day.